Welcome back, everybody. So glad to be joined by Sydney Westover today. Thanks for making the trip, Sid. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Drew.
So let's talk for a minute about growing up in Hopkinton. You grew up with two brothers on a horse farm, so that's kind of unique. What was that like?
I would not trade it for anything. I loved growing up on a farm so much. It really taught me how to work hard, and I saw my hard work pay off really, really fast with horses. And I think just growing up with two brothers was really special because there wasn't a lot of sugarcoating. It was kind of, we were all best friends, but they really taught me how to work hard, specifically, them two. And my family just has made such a big family unit through horse riding, and, owning a family farm and all working on it together has been really a cool experience. Like this morning, we all got up at the crack of dawn and loaded 100 hay bales into the hay elevator, and that was all five of us working hard, working at a goal, and we all got it done. And it's such a cool thing to be able to grow up with your family on our farm. And I think that it's just taught me work ethic like nothing else would.
That's a unique opportunity. You've done some like pretty big horse races that are, events bringing people from all around the country and stuff like that. If you want to talk about some of those, kind of maybe the more recent. I know I spoke with you probably like 2.5 years ago, you and Smith, about what that was like. So do you have anything like recently with like your horse shows that you want to discuss?
Yeah. So at the end of my sophomore year, I decided to sell my horse and focus more on lacrosse because I was trying to get recruited to play in college. But I have done some shows since then. There's this thing called catch riding where, say I'm at a show and a trainer comes up to me and has a horse that their client either decided not to show or just couldn't, for some reason their owner is not showing the horse. They can ask another rider who they trust to show their horse. So I've been able to do that a few times throughout the past couple of years, which has been a really cool opportunity. And then in 2023, I got to show my horse at the World's Championship Horse Show. It was 2022. But anyway, I showed Coco at the World Championship and we got third in the world, which was just like the most,
that's so crazy.
The epitome. It was crazy. I will never forget that moment of walking back to the barn with Smith, and it was just so cool. So that was kind of my last hurrah with my horse, and then I sold her. And then this year I had the opportunity to show my brother's horse, who he aged out of his division. So I'm gonna step up and show Houston in Louisville, Kentucky this year at the World Championship. So I am so excited to do that. It's like a week before I go off to Bentley, so it'll be like a last hurrah with the family. So I'm super excited for that and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, there's been really cool opportunities with horse showing, and I just am so glad that it's been a part of my life.
That's really cool. So a little bit of the sports aspect now. You got involved, I think when you were younger. So what age were you when you started playing lacrosse, and how'd you take up basketball as well?
So I started playing those two sports probably in like fourth or fifth grade. It actually wasn't too young. Because I was so into riding, I started riding when I was like 3 or something like that. And then all of my friends were playing lacrosse and basketball, and I was like, all right, I want to give these a shot. So skate really got me into basketball. He's just an amazing coach and just even a better person. And so he was like really getting me into basketball. And then for lacrosse, my best friend was like, here, pick out my lacrosse stick. Let's play toss. And we played pass, and I just ended up loving it. And then, played in middle school through the Hopkinton Lacrosse Club, and then really got into it in high school. And then for basketball, I played some HISA in the earlier years, and then, played on the middle school team. We had a pretty stacked middle school team. And then we went on to have some really great teams in high school too. So very, very cool. Skate really really got me into basketball, which was fun.
Very cool. I think skate's gotten a lot of kids involved with sports, especially basketball.
Yeah.
So that's neat. When you were younger, probably like, 8th grade, not quite into high school yet, and you were thinking about playing in high school, what were you thinking in terms of like lacrosse and giving that a shot as well as basketball in high school?
I knew it was going to be a big step up with the pace of the game, which it was, but I was ready for that, especially with my size. I was like always towering over everybody in middle school, and I was just excited to play with people that were just as strong and just as tall as I was, because I felt like a lot of times like I could catch the ball up above everyone's head and just chuck it into the hoop. But I was just excited to play with better, more experienced and taller, stronger players. So that I was very excited for. I was definitely nervous a little bit, but I think all my coaches along the way helped me, and it was a great transition.
Very cool. So, do you want to take us through, season by season, just kind of talk about those two sports? I guess we could start out with, freshman year.
Yeah. So freshman year, lacrosse was absolutely amazing. I got to play with incredible athletes, a lot of which are going on to play Division I in college, but, we ended up having, I think, like pretty much a perfect season, might have lost one game, and we went to the championship and won. It was such a cool game because we were down by, I think it was like 8 at the half, and in lacrosse, like 8 goals is a lot. It's not like 8 points in basketball. 8 goals is a ton, and at the halftime speech, I just remember like Annie Higgy and Hannah Hoyt, Francie Trafton just being like, don't give up, we're in this game. And here I am thinking like, I don't know if we really are. And sure enough, Hannah Hoyt won like every single draw control in the second half, and our offense just went amazing. It was really cool to have an opportunity to play in that game. And just the stands were full, and the energy was electric, and it was just so much fun. So that was definitely like one of my favorite sports moments in high school, was winning that championship freshman year. And then, for freshman year basketball, I was a varsity swinger, so I didn't really get minutes on varsity, but I learned a lot with skate on JV. And then just really tried to work on my post moves and foul shots a lot, because those were kind of my two ways of scoring basically, were post moves and foul shots. And on varsity, we had a great season. We ended up getting out kind of early, but it was a fun season, and there was really great leadership with Callie on the team.
Sophomore year, that was a deeper playoff run in basketball. I know, made it all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah.
So what was that season like for you?
Basketball sophomore year was so cool because I was starting to get a little bit of confidence, and I was upping my game a little bit, starting to contribute a little bit more on varsity, but still getting most of my minutes on JV. But it was so cool to be on a Final Four team, because the Final Four in basketball is just such, I don't know how to describe it. It's just an incredible feeling, and it seems like everyone comes out to the games, and everyone just loves to be at a basketball game on a Friday night or whatever. So that was really cool, to make such a run into the Final Four with Coach Roy for his last season. And it was just fantastic season. It was great.
Really cool. And, is there anything, from that season that you want to shout out, like in terms of games? Like we had that, Special Prospect Mountain game in the semifinal to get to the, Final Four.
Yeah. I will never forget that game, getting that team interview from NH Sports page afterwards, and it was just such a cool feeling. I think we all just worked together really well, and it was cool to be away, kind of the underdogs, and get the win. So that was fantastic.
Really neat. So moving on, lacrosse sophomore year?
Lacrosse sophomore year was great. It was more of a learning season because we had lost so many people to private schools, and graduating seniors lost a lot of our talent, but we still had a great season, and that was actually the season that I decided I wanted to play at the next level, because I was starting to really get a chance to shine. So that was so much fun. And it was the first year with Coach Brown and Coach Gus, who are just such great coaches and great guys. We all love them so much. Never heard a bad word about them. And, so it was very fun. Although we got out early, it was a really good season and everyone got better for us to then be able to go to the semifinals the next year.
Cool. So, moving on, your junior year, that was, the deepest run in basketball that you could possibly have, making it all the way to the championship. You, Shaylee, Liz, I mean, that was a big three right there. And then obviously like Keegan and Katie helped out at the start of the year and then got injured, but overall pretty strong year.
Yeah, that was such a great year. Honestly, I was nervous going into junior year a little bit because I hadn't really played at the varsity level for basketball. I got a few minutes here and there, but that was my first year really playing on varsity for basketball, and it was really fun. I felt like just playing in a faster game was really what it was all about, and I learned pretty quick. And Shaylee and Liz they were great leaders, always pushing the team to work harder. We knew what we could do with that really core group of girls. And we did. We had a great season. We made it all the way to the championship. We came up short, just really unfortunate series of events with everybody getting hurt. But, it was crazy to have people that didn't really play starting in the championship game. That's unheard of. But everyone worked hard, and I think we just lacked experience with some of the younger players that were having big shoes to fill with the injuries that we lost a lot of people. But I think it was a really, really cool being at Keene and seeing just actual stadium feel and having so many people there holding up signs, and the support was just amazing. So that was super cool.
Really neat. Yeah.
Never forget that.
That was a cool thing, even though the game didn't go our way, but still, what are you going to do? It was, we played hard, so that was good. So you had lacrosse your junior year too, and, you guys got better.
Yeah, lacrosse our junior year was a great season. We had some really neck and neck games that I learned that seeding really mattered a lot. So those close games we were able to get, and we secured I think it was the number 2 seed. It was the 4 seed, but anyway, we secured the 4 seed and we made it all the way to the semis, but lost to St. Thomas. But it was a really, really great season, and playing with Sarah Chavez was super fun because we had a lot of chemistry that was really great, and she was a great leader, so that was fun.
On the senior year,
for basketball, it was cool to step into the captain role with Shaylee. I really enjoyed being co-captain with her. And, we had big goals after being at the championship the previous year, but we knew we had kind of the blessing in disguise of those injuries was that we had all kind of started to play together with the group that we were going to have my senior year. Because we had to learn how to play together because we lost those 3 by the end of the year. So we kind of started out already having a little bit of chemistry together, but, we had a really good season. So the playoff run senior year was super fun with Shaylee and I. We really were super passionate about this is it, and let's leave it all on the court. And I think we definitely did that. So for our first playoff game was against Berlin. And it was a very neck and neck 9 and 8 seed game. And it was a really fun experience. We went all the way 2 hour 30-minute drive to Berlin. It was crazy. And then we got there and ended up having a crazy back and forth game. And then there was 1 second left on the clock, and I think it was, someone got the rebound, outletted it to me, and then I whipped it to Shaylee, who, went up for the amazing, famous layout. But that was just like, that was really cool because it was like the chemistry of us two, I think, just really showed in that moment, because it was like threading the needle of a pass and then somehow she put it in the hoop. So that was just like really, really cool. And that's one of my favorite moments from my senior year, for basketball. And then we went on to play St. Thomas in the quarterfinals, but, and lost by a lot, but it was still a really successful season, and I'm happy to have made it that far.
Lacrosse, your last season?
Lacrosse was a great last season. The girls on the team were great, and I enjoyed being the leader of that team, along with Maven, Ryan, and we got to the semifinals again, which was really, really sad. I mean, lacrosse has my heart, and I really wanted to get a championship this year, but we ended up coming up short when we played Guilford in the semifinals, but it was a very, very good season. Previously, we had just beaten Derryfield, who we had lost to by 8 previously in the season, so that was a huge win for us. That game was just amazing. I was out for quite a few games the end of senior year because of my foot injury that I've been dealing with, but to get back for Derryfield I just wanted it so bad. And I really tried to put the team on my back and get the draws and then let the offense go from there. And our defense did an amazing job shutting down Derryfield, who has a very strong offense. So that was the game that I choose to remember from my senior year, because everyone just played amazing, and we won by 2, I think, super close, but we had it after previously losing by a ton. So that was just super special.
What was the college process like? Because you decided after sophomore year you wanted to play college lacrosse.
So after winning the championship freshman year, it just sparked like a whole new part of me that I didn't really know was in there. It was like just this, oh my gosh, I really love this game, and I really like just this whole new passion grew in me. And then sophomore year, I kind of had the opportunity to play a little bit, or play a lot, because we just had graduated a ton of players, so I needed to step up, and I really tried to do that. I worked really hard sophomore year, and then in the summer with training, with a group trainer, and then went to showcases in the winter and did some research on where I might want to go to school, and just really decided that I didn't want to be done with sports after high school, because they were really the source of most of my happiness throughout my life. Most of my happiest memories are associated with sports, whether it be riding or basketball or lacrosse, and I thought I had the best chance at playing lacrosse in college, so I kind of went with that. I started touring a couple of schools. Winter of junior year, I was kind of late on the process, but I made it work, because I didn't really know I wanted to play much earlier than that. So I toured some schools, and then I instantly clicked with Bentley University in Waltham, Mass. Super excited. I am going to be continuing my lacrosse and academic career at Bentley. They have really a strong business school. That's pretty much all they do. So I don't know exactly what I want to go into with that, but my whole family is pretty business oriented, and I have my own flower business right now. Not wanting to do that right out of school, but something businessy, and I would love to incorporate sports into that too. There's a big thing at Bentley for sports business, so lots of internships with the Celtics and opportunities like that I'm super excited for. So ideally, I would really like to do something with sports statistics and work for a pro sports team in that department. So that's my goal with going to Bentley. But it was a really, really fun process, kind of crazy. I'm super excited for the next chapter.
Cool. Good luck, Sid. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a bunch and is completely free. Thank you.